The scene opens on a peaceful afternoon in Russia. A family of 3 is by the river, enjoying their free time. The youngest, Sergei Alyoshkov, boasts to his older brother and mother about climbing a tree. Suddenly, German fighter planes fly overhead. The mother, distressed, urges her children to hide in the bushes. But the fearless Sergei, only 6 years old, declares that he isn't afraid and, armed with his slingshot, manages to hit the planes, making them explode. And to avoid exploding yourself, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to help it grow. When Sergei looks around, he realizes his family is gone. Waking up scared from his dream, Sergei calls for his mother. There's a knock at the door, and thinking it's his mother, he runs to it. But it's a terrified neighbor who enters. She thanks God he's alive and informs him that his mother and brother are dead. Sergei, not understanding, wants to wait for his mother. The woman insists that the Germans attacked and he must flee. Soldiers approach the house, and she helps him escape through the window but is killed before she can escape herself. Now, little Sergei is alone without family or friends. Fleeing, Sergei sees his neighborhood in flames and calls out for his mother to no avail. He ends up in the middle of the forest, where he spends the night. In the morning, while drinking water from the river, he sees enemy soldiers and quickly hides among the roots of a tree. He is terrified to see a snake but stays still and silent, more afraid of the soldiers than the snake. The soldiers eat by the river and then leave, allowing Sergei to devour the leftover food. Exhausted and without a proper meal for 2 days, he collapses but keeps walking. Finding some wild berries, he devours them, but an explosion occurs behind him, leaving him dizzy and hallucinating. Even so, he bravely claims to be armed and continues limping until he faints. 2 soldiers find him and take him to the Russian army base. At the camp, Commander Kuznetsov awaits his soldiers, who arrive with the weak and injured Sergei. The soldiers, seeing that he is on their side, grow fond of the boy. The commander, despite his cold demeanor, also takes care of him. A nurse named Katia treats his wounds, and Sergei asks her to draw a tank on his stomach because he wants to be a soldier when he grows up. Even the injured soldiers talk to him, feeling lighter. Fascinated with the commander's weapon and badge, Sergei plays with the commander's honorary pistol, without bullets, of course. Despite the commander's objections, Katia asks for the boy to stay with the troops, but the commander insists on sending him to an orphanage. Still, the soldiers spend all their free time with Sergei, feeding and playing with him. One day, a soldier asks the commander to let the boy stay, arguing that his presence eases the burden of war. However, the commander remains firm in sending him to the orphanage. The next morning, while the enemy attacks and many soldiers are wounded, a vehicle arrives to take Sergei away. The commander, moved by Sergei's hug and worried about his safety, changes his mind and adopts him as his son. The soldiers find soldier clothes for Sergei, and he runs around the camp like a true little soldier. While playing, the Germans launch an air attack on the troops. The interesting fact about this film is that Sergei Alyoshkov is based on a true story, where he really became the army's mascot. However, if it were me, I certainly wouldn't face planes with a slingshot, but like Sergei, I would do anything to survive, even amidst the chaos. Something remarkable is the boy's resilience and bravery amidst the war's chaos, reminiscent of intense scenes from the movie Saving Private Ryan. The number of wounded soldiers quickly grows, so Sergei decides to be useful and starts bringing water to the thirsty soldiers. One of them asks him to read a letter sent by his family because he has a bandage over his eyes. The little Sergei wants to help but doesn't know how to read. He takes the letter and starts making things up, saying the soldier's cow is safe at home. When the soldier says he doesn't have a cow, the others tell him to play along, and everyone laughs. Sergei reads the others' letters in the same way, cheering everyone up. In the next scene, we see Katia and the commander talking. They seem attracted to each other but don't confess their feelings. Later, Sergei tells the commander that he is the company's orderly and starts introducing himself as such. However, the boy sees one of the soldiers' posts destroyed by the attack. The commander teaches him to take off his hat to pay respect to the fallen soldier. The next day, Sergei insists the commander give him a mission and is tasked with distributing letters among the soldiers. He completes his mission efficiently and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The next day, Sergei wanders a bit from the base with his binoculars. While playing, he sees a leg moving inside a haystack and runs back to inform the soldiers. They are skeptical but go with the boy anyway. When they approach the haystack, they discover 2 German spies hiding. The spies are captured, and the boy is praised for his intelligence. At night, The commander shows Sergei the legal papers for his adoption, making him officially the boy's father. Knowing the commander's feelings for Katya, Sergei leads him to confess to her. But they see her talking to another man and wrongly assume she is interested in someone else. The base is attacked again by the Germans. This time, Sergei helps the soldiers with all his might, supplying ammunition to those on the front lines, but is ordered back to the shelter because it is too dangerous outside. Returning, he sees the commander and others in a panic because the phone connection with the colonel was lost. A soldier is sent to fix the broken wires. Sergei follows the soldier and sees him fatally wounded. The boy asks the dying soldier how to fix the wires and does the job himself. The connection is restored, and more troops are called. The 6-year-old boy saves everyone's lives. The next day, Sergei accompanies a wounded commander, having hurt his hands trying to save him. The boy is now an inseparable part of the team, with no family besides them, moving wherever they go in the war. The story ends with the regiment moving to another base. And speaking of which, I would never disregard a boy with binoculars pointing to a haystack. You never know when German spies might be hiding. For those who think a 6-year-old soldier is an exaggeration, just remember Saving Private Ryan and realize that war does strange things to people. Have a great day and see you next time.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect.